So now we'll be seeing types of constructor. In C++, there are three types. First one is default constructor, parameters constructor, and the last one is copy constructor. So let's see the default constructor first. If the constructor doesn't have any parameter, so that type of constructor is called as default constructor. So generally the default constructor will be called automatically whenever the object is created. And one more thing, if you are not having the definition of default constructor explicitly, the compiler will generate the default constructor by itself. It is used to initialize the object data members, as we said already. So let's see the example for default syntax and example for default constructor. Here it is, student is my class, and this is my constructor declared in public scope. Function name is same name as the class name. It doesn't have any parameters, so hence it is a default constructor. Function definition. For example, if you wanted to initialize any data member for the S1 object, you can give it over here. And in the main function, I'm creating the object. As and when the object is created, the default constructor will be called automatically. So whenever the object is created, it will be calling the default constructor. For example, if you are not having this function definition explicitly, the compiler itself generates this default constructor whenever the object is created. So that is what the default constructor. Second type is parameters constructor. If a constructor is having parameter, any arguments, or the constructor is defined with any parameter or arguments, that is what called as parameters constructor. It is used to, parameters constructor is used to initialize object data members. I can pass the values through the object creation. While object creation, I can pass the parameter, hence it is going to invoke the parameters constructor. Let's see the example. The same student class, public scope. Here I am having two object data members, name and age. And here I am having a constructor because it is same name as the class name. It's a function and it is having two parameters, and hence it is called as parameters constructor. Right? So these two parameters are used to initialize the name and age of the student object, name and age. Right? After that, I am displaying the end of the class. So coming to the main function, while creating the object itself, I am passing two parameters. First one is string and second one is integer. So the string and integer is given to this A and B, and hence S1 name is A and S1 age is B. So this is how parameters constructor is used to initialize object data members at the time of object creation. So now let's see the third category, that is copy constructor. Copy constructor, the name itself says that we can copy the object. For example, one object is already created and initialized. Instead of initializing the value for the second object, we can copy the values from the already created object. So that is what called as copy constructor. Copy constructor is used to create a new object as a copy of an existing object. It takes object as the object of the same class as a parameter. In a parameters constructor, we are passing a normal parameter, and here in copy constructor, we are passing object of the same class of the as the parameter. So let's see the example, we'll understand easily. The same student class, two object data values, name and age. So this is parameters constructor. Two parameter has been passed at the time of object creation. That will be initializing the S1 object. For example, S1 is the object. I am passing two parameters, Suresh and 25, and name of the S1 object is Suresh and the name age of the S1 object is 25. So this will be used to initialize the name and age of the S1 object at the time of object creation. And coming to the copy constructor, so here it is a constructor because it is having the same name of the class name and it is a function, no return type. And here you can see it is having the object as the parameter, object of the same class as the parameter. So here X is the object. So let's see a main function. In a main function, in a two-way I can call the copy constructor. Let's take the first one. S2 is the new object which is created and it is copying the values from S1. Using the assignment operator, the copy constructor can be invoked. What happens here is S1 is the object can be passed to X. So now X will be S1. So S1 name will be given to S2 name, and similarly S1 age will be given to S2 age. You can see the third line, S3 is the new object is created, and in a bracket I'm passing S2, which means S3 is calling this the copy constructor and it is passing S2 as the object. So now for this line S2 is given to X, which means S2 age name will be S3 name and S2 age will be S3's age. So like this you can call the copy constructor. You can use a parenthesis to call the copy constructor. In a parenthesis you have to pass the object as a parameter of the same class, or else you can use the assignment operator so that the newly created object is getting the value from the already created object. So this is what the copy constructor. So that's all types of constructor in C++. If you are having any doubts or queries, you can mail me at this mail address. Thank you.